In a world obsessed with air travel, one American team asked a question no one had dared. What if the private jet never left the ground? They called it the AeroLiner 1, an experimental prototype designed not by RV builders but by aerospace engineers who decided to challenge gravity itself. The project started inside a hangar in Wichita, Kansas, the heartland of American aviation. A small collective of former Gulfstream and Boeing engineers wanted to reimagine the concept of mobile living. Their obsession wasn't size or flash, it was efficiency, aerodynamics, and speed through air-grade engineering. The shell is constructed from aerospace-grade aluminum-lithium alloy and composite carbon ribs, the same structural philosophy used in the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Each panel is bonded, not bolted, reducing vibration, squeaks, and stress fractures over time. It isn't just design flair, it's functional engineering. Fewer seams mean less turbulence and better fuel efficiency. The result? A 20% aerodynamic advantage over any luxury coach currently sold in the US. Underneath, the AeroLiner 1 rides on a fully independent active air suspension system built on a reinforced aluminum spaceframe. Sensors read road texture 500 times per second, adjusting ride height and damping individually at each wheel. That means at 70 miles per hour on a crosswind-beaten desert highway, AeroLiner 1 glides like a low-flying jet, stable, silent, and balanced. Power comes from a hybrid diesel-electric drivetrain developed in partnership with Cummins and Siemens Mobility. A 600-horsepower inline-six turbo diesel runs a high-output generator feeding dual electric motors on the rear axle. Total torque, 8,000 Newton-meters. It's not about acceleration, it's about torque management and silence. Inside, the engine bay is acoustically isolated by multi-layered graphene foam panels, bringing interior cabin noise down to 38 decibels, quieter than a luxury sedan. Cooling was another challenge. Aircraft engines use ram air, RVs don't. AeroLiner's designers built an intelligent thermal channeling system. Air enters through hidden intakes at the nose, flows along side ducts, and exits through a tail fin diffuser. The effect? Temperatures stay 30% cooler under high load, improving efficiency and allowing sustained highway speeds for hours without thermal strain. Covering the roof is a 9-kilowatt solar array integrated directly into the curved glass. Instead of flat panels, AeroLiner uses flexible photovoltaic film layered under UV-resistant polymer. That system powers climate control, lighting, and onboard appliances for up to 48 hours completely off-grid. No generator noise, no fuel burn. The vertical stabilizer at the rear isn't decorative. It houses the crash energy management core. In a frontal or rear collision, the fin redirects kinetic energy into a crumple spine, protecting the cabin. It's the first RV to borrow a crash philosophy from aerospace, not automotive design. Engineers spent 1,400 hours in computational fluid dynamics simulation. Every mirror, step, and vent was redesigned until drag dropped below their jet-derived target. Even the rear ladder retracts automatically during motion to maintain laminar flow. Lighting on the AeroLiner 1 follows aviation standards, color-coded navigation lights, and adaptive front beams that pivot 15 degrees with steering, and a low-intensity blue glow designed to increase rear visibility without glare. It began in the sky, but its purpose is on the open road. This is not just another motorhome. It's a proof of concept that aerospace precision can redefine American land travel. Next, the systems beneath the shell, propulsion, control, and the intelligent brain of the AeroLiner 1.
When the AeroLiner 1 powers up, it doesn't start, it awakens. Every system initializes through a synchronized boot sequence designed for precision rather than speed. Just like an aircraft pre-flight routine, each component checks itself before movement is even possible. In the first 20 seconds, 420 sensors send diagnostic data through a central control unit, a digital brain the engineers call the core. The core isn't just a CPU. It's a distributed AI system managing the vehicle's mechanical, electrical, and environmental balance. Think of it as a cross between an autopilot and a digital concierge. It runs on a triple redundant architecture, 3 processors cross-verifying each decision in milliseconds. If one fails, the other 2 isolate and reroute instantly. Unlike conventional RV control modules that react to driver input, the core anticipates, predicting throttle, braking, and cornering demands by analyzing data from GPS gradients and environmental scans up to 5 miles ahead. At its heart, the propulsion system combines diesel-generated electricity and dual high-torque electric motors. The core continuously adjusts torque output to maintain optimal traction and balance, even when one side of the vehicle experiences different friction levels. The torque vectoring system can redirect up to 80% of power to a single wheel for a fraction of a second, eliminating wheel spin before it begins. Energy management is where the AeroLiner 1 turns science into art. The hybrid system constantly decides when to pull power from the diesel generator, when to use battery reserves, and when to charge through regenerative braking. At cruising speed, it operates at 85% electrical mode. The diesel engine idles silently, acting as a stabilizer rather than a power source. It's a symphony of silent motion, where every watt has a purpose and every decibel is accounted for. AeroLiner's outer body isn't static, it moves. Micro-actuators embedded along the side panels subtly adjust curvature based on wind direction. At high crosswinds, the left and right surfaces shift by a few millimeters, invisible to the eye, but enough to correct lateral drag by 4%. The result is a smoother trajectory, better stability, and a distinct reduction in fatigue for the driver. Underneath, the adaptive air suspension operates in 3 modes: comfort, glide, and aero. It learns driver behavior too. Over time, the core memorizes preferred handling responses and pre-adjusts suspension tension before a turn or gradient. The steering assembly is drive-by-wire, no physical linkage between wheel and axle. It uses electronic actuators to translate driver input into motion. If a gust hits from the side, AeroLiner 1 countersteers automatically before the driver even senses it. Traditionalists might call it over-engineering. The engineers call it the future of control. Noise is not just absence of sound, it's engineering discipline. AeroLiner 1's cabin sits on a floating isolation mount that detaches vibration frequencies above 10 Hz. Combine that with acoustic insulation, and what you get is silence, engineered silence. At 70 miles per hour, you can hear the clock tick. That's how far they went. Navigation in AeroLiner 1 is powered by an aviation-grade terrain awareness system. Instead of a simple GPS map, it uses LiDAR-based topographical scanning to predict slopes and curves. It calculates route efficiency like a pilot plans a flight path, not from A to B, but from energy curve to energy curve. The control cockpit follows aircraft ergonomics, wraparound glass display, heads-up projection, and joystick-style drive control. Traditional steering remains, but in autonomous modes, it retracts seamlessly into the console. The voice interface responds to natural language commands. The same AI running vehicle systems doubles as the user's personal assistant. You don't drive the AeroLiner 1, you command it. Every system in AeroLiner 1 is triple-layer protected. Power circuits are shielded by self-healing polymers. Hydraulic lines are double-walled, with automatic cutoff valves that isolate damage within 0.3 seconds. And the AI safety protocol operates under FAA-grade fail-safes. If a system deviates beyond safe thresholds, the core initiates a controlled stop, not a panic brake, but a measured deceleration sequence, bringing the vehicle to rest with zero jerk. On open road, the sensation is unlike any other. The driver feels elevated, yet calm, the panoramic cockpit offering a 210-degree view. The world seems slower, not because you're going slow, but because the ride eliminates chaos. It's not about horsepower anymore. It's about harmony between machine and environment. You can drive 400 miles and step out without fatigue. The suspension, sound damping, and air circulation create what engineers call the low-stress travel environment. When activated, AeroLiner's semi-autonomous drive takes over, merging adaptive cruise, lane centering, and obstacle anticipation. It doesn't just see obstacles, it understands motion patterns. If a car drifts, it predicts trajectory and adjusts early. It was never meant to replace the driver, only to amplify safety and precision. It's the co-pilot on wheels. At full charge, the AeroLiner's solid-state battery provides 200 miles of electric-only range. But the system never lets you hit zero. It calculates your consumption pattern and refuels energy accordingly, maintaining a strategic buffer like an aircraft's fuel reserve. Every watt spent is logged, analyzed, and improved by machine learning over time. The more you drive, the smarter it becomes, not in theory, but in measurable efficiency gains. Luxury isn't luxury if it leaves destruction behind. The entire chassis is 92% recyclable. Even the composite body panels are designed to be remolded for future iterations. AeroLiner 1 emits 60% less CO2 than a traditional diesel motorhome of similar size. It's not zero emission yet, but it's the closest bridge between fossil fuel and full electric practicality in long-haul travel. For decades, engineers have tried to bring aerospace precision to the road and failed. Either cost, complexity, or comfort broke the dream. But AeroLiner 1 is different. It's not science fiction. It's science executed with intent. Every nut, every wire, every algorithm was built around one purpose: to move like the sky, but live like the earth. Next, the inside story: how the AeroLiner's cabin redefines the meaning of home on wheels.
Every mechanical marvel reaches a point where hardware stops being the hero and intelligence takes over. AeroLiner 1's designers call this the cognitive horizon, a custom AI architecture built on adaptive motion learning. The system monitors weather data, tire pressure, engine load, air density, and road geometry in real time. It doesn't just respond, it predicts. Sensors embedded within the composite chassis feed information at a rate of 3 terabytes per hour. That's the digital heartbeat of AeroLiner 1, far beyond anything on today's highways. The AI uses predictive torque management to anticipate inclines or crosswinds seconds before they occur, redistributing energy between motors so the coach glides rather than climbs. The AeroLiner 1 isn't about replacing the driver, it's about extending human capability. The semi-autonomous guidance suite integrates radar-lidar fusion, long-range thermal cameras, and adaptive satellite mapping. When the AI detects fatigue in the driver's biometrics, slower reaction time, pulse variation, it quietly engages cocoon mode, taking over lane control and maintaining a steady 65-mile-per-hour cruise until it senses recovery. Inside the cockpit, a single sweeping OLED interface arcs across the dash. Every dial is rendered digitally, floating like light behind glass. The yoke-style steering control folds inward when full autonomy activates, leaving a clear, open vista ahead. No clunky controls, no clutter, just the hum of propulsion and the faint glow of status lights breathing across the cabin. Beneath that smooth surface lies a hybrid powertrain that rejects convention. Instead of diesel or pure electric, AeroLiner 1 runs on a dual-core propulsion system, hydrogen-electric fusion. The onboard fuel cell stack converts hydrogen into electricity, while a graphene-coated battery bank stores surplus energy. Together, they deliver 1,200 horsepower equivalent, with near-zero emissions and 900 miles of range. Cooling channels carved through the carbon shell maintain battery temperature within a single degree Celsius, even during desert operation. The sound it produces? None. Just a faint turbine whisper that fades under wind noise. Sound design became an art form during AeroLiner's testing. Engineers tuned every vibration frequency so that the interior produces less than 25 decibels while cruising, quieter than rainfall. Even air vents were 3D printed with micro-spiral textures to diffuse turbulence. To a passenger, that silence is transformative. Conversations don't compete with road noise. Music resonates with studio clarity. You hear your thoughts. For travelers crossing from Colorado's peaks to Nevada's deserts, that silence feels like meditation in motion. When parked, AeroLiner 1 transforms from a highway machine into a living habitat. Panels in the outer skin shift outward, extending the floor plan by 30%. The smart glass roof transitions from opaque white to transparent skylight with a voice command. Furniture modules reconfigure automatically using magnetic rail guides. The sofa slides backward, the kitchen counter emerges, the sleeping pod unfurls. Each surface carries embedded micro-LED vanes, producing soft ambient light that adjusts to circadian rhythm. Even the temperature zoning adapts to individual comfort profiles. The AI learns the habits of its occupants, warming one side while cooling another without touch or manual control. Every trip becomes a data expedition. AeroLiner 1 transmits anonymized telemetry to the development network, helping refine future updates. Wind resistance models, battery efficiency, solar absorption. Every metric adds to an evolving database of mobile architecture. This constant loop of feedback turns every owner into part of an innovation ecosystem. It's no longer just an RV, it's a living prototype for sustainable mobility. As night settles over Utah's red mesas, the AeroLiner 1 glides through the darkness, its silhouette reflecting starlight across the canyon rim. In that stillness, the vehicle feels less like a machine and more like an organism, breathing, sensing, adapting. For the first time in decades, the RV isn't a compromise between luxury and performance. It's a synthesis of both, a monument to what American engineering can become when comfort and conscience align. This isn't just a vehicle, it's an evolution, proof that the open road still holds room for dreams. AeroLiner 1 was never about building the biggest or the flashiest. It was about asking a simple question. What if movement itself could be reborn? From design floor to desert highway, from code to consciousness, this is AeroLiner 1. The next chapter of motion begins here, on RV America.